All right, folks, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Let's get airborne with our joint brief. We don't have a brief tomorrow. I'm actually flying twice tomorrow, flying two donors, one at 8 a.m. and one at 1 p.m. I think the 1 p.m. guy is the CMO, CEO, not sure, don't know, find out tomorrow, of Alfa Romeo, the car company. So no briefs tomorrow. And then you all got Bart on Friday in Tomcat Charts. And I think that's it for those type of schedule items. We're going to take a break here in a little bit, and then we're going to reconvene at 1 p.m. Eastern for Traders Accounting. So Jerry's going to be coming from Traders Accounting. You definitely want to be here for this. Yeah, thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. I know that guy. So make sure you're registered for this 1 p.m. brief. Going to be about an hour, right on time, because I got to jump in the car because my boy Jack, my middle boy, is playing on the FLA Live Arena Ice, their big rivalry game. Boca Raton playing Spanish River at where the Panthers played last night. So that's pretty big. It's the biggest rivalry game, and it's on the big ice down there. So it's really, really, really cool for the kids to get to be able to do that. So what else do we have? Admin. Nothing tomorrow. And we're good. I think Sledge is he said he'd send me a text, but tomorrow, I mean, we're there with the NoFallenHeroesFoundation.org website, and also the ability to take donations. I appreciate everybody who's been patient and holding their fire. But yeah, trust me, we've been working pretty hard. We're like a duck, right? Pretty stately on top of the water, and then there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts underneath the duck. So a lot of good stuff going on. I'm, this time of the year, I take a lot of time to do my 2023 planning, kind of debrief and look at how the year went. The year went incredibly well for our TGO, for you all, close to like 438,000. Yeah, I'm not going to round up to half. I'll round lower, 400 in across the model portfolios. That is an epic performance in what was a pretty damn challenging. Isn't it cool to be able to say, like, hey man, in a bear market we printed money? You better be able to say that, or I'm an idiot, because we love the volatility. But there's 2022, man, and 400 grand across the portfolios is pretty damn good, especially when some of the circles I run in the smart money people have been destroyed year to date. And just not good. Talking to some guys who are on bonus committees, a lot of dudes and ladies ain't going to be happy on Wall Street. It's going to be a Christmas vacation. I've enrolled you in the Jelly of the Month Club or something like that. So very happy with the year we've had. We got new lifetime members. The lifetime membership is growing. It's going up in price, obviously, and it grows. So you need to lock it in early. Like I said, you have until December 31st to exercise that call option to get a 50% discount on the lifetime. After that, you're SOL. Okay, let's go ahead and get airborne. Make sure you listen to Slider's podcast. This one's really special. Slider needs to get his own podcast, man, because his story is just absolutely incredible. So make sure you listen to Slider's podcast. And if you want, you can check out his YouTube speech that he gave to the Veterans Prostate Cancer Awareness Foundation. So there's the YouTube video link for that. Got 3 folks who wrote some great reviews for the podcast, and then a couple on Trustpilot. So you all get free books as great Christmas presents. I'll offer that again. If you write a nice 5-star review for the podcast, or if you write one on the podcast, you get a free book. Just let me know who to make it out to. That's a nice little Christmas gift right there. Or you can, if you write a Trustpilot one, I'll send you 2 books. How about that? Again, just send me. I get a notification when you write one on Trustpilot. I don't on Apple Podcasts, so just send me a screenshot along with your address. I love this guy, man. Remember Nestor? We threw him out like last year, and then he charged back with his credit card company, lost that. I think he filed something with the Better Business Bureau, lost that, and then decided to come on here and and badmouth me. So remember Nestor? That guy was just a tool. But anyway, I appreciate it. All right, let's get going. Folks, this is a disgrace. We got to talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. If Sam Bankman-Fried was the largest donor in this election cycle, in any election cycle, to Republicans, and he turned out to make Bernie Madoff look like he was broke, and the day before he was going to testify, the DOJ, like a Trump DOJ, just switched the parties, like had him arrested before he was going to testify under oath. The media would be impeaching whoever. They would be going apeshit. The fact that the media has barely said a word about this, except people with brains going, "Are you absolutely shitting me?" Within hours of when he's supposed to testify under oath, because now we're not going to get a chance. They throw him in a courtroom. He's got his Fifth Amendment right, which he obviously has in front of the House too. But they were gonna grill him. He was arrested before he got to testify under oath. An absolute disgrace out of this DOJ. Don't give me the fucking bullshit, Maxine Watt. Well, it was just a coincidence. What's today's date? Over about a month. It's a minimum of a month, like November 4th or whenever this really imploded. You've known for a month this guy is an absolute disgrace. He's a felon multiple times over. He's a dirty thief. But coincidentally, hours before he's supposed to testify under oath in front of our nation, the Democrat DOJ arrests him, has him arrested. Sam Bankman-Fried made political contributions under other people's names as well. Again, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 years under Trump of everything was a scandal, not a peep out of the media about this guy getting silenced. I mean, all the memes running around the internet today are like, here's a live look at Sam Bankman-Fried's guard, and it's like Hillary Clinton with, glasses and a fake mustache on. Or Jeffrey Epstein going, dude, don't worry about your safety. They got cameras in your cell. I was about to say, I can't believe the Democrat DOJ did this, but then I'd sound like an idiot. Of course, the Democrat DOJ arrested this guy before he was going to testify. Now we'll never hear from the guy again under oath. Does that sit right with you all? Is that okay? Oh, it was just a coincidence. Everybody in this room, and I got my Ibogaine shirt on, had a beautiful flow session this morning. I blew off my call this morning because I'm like, with Jerome speaking, ain't nobody. Today's a coin flip. We'll get into it. Everything I've heard, but let me give you the summary first. It's a coin flip. Hawk, dove. It's evenly split. But anyway, folks, this, it's just, it's awful. With every one of these things, I get further and further and further to the real, because there's no, that's what I was going to say with my Ibogaine shirt on, there's no such thing as coincidence. As Bart would say, even the hairs on your head are numbered. Everything is known. the God that I believe in, it's all mapped. It's already. So this was not a coincidence that he got arrested hours before he was going to testify. And it's a major scandal. David. The problem, let me answer your question with a word that you used. And there's two words in your question that absolutely can give you the answer. Dems and shame. Most, not all, most Republicans, if they get busted, have a shitload of shame. Every Democrat, I've never seen one with shame. Bill Clinton, he was all red and angry, and he wagged his finger at you, didn't he? President of the United States looking into that camera. I did not have sex relations with that woman. The most powerful man on the planet and an intern. Me Too movement. Okay, unless they're Democrats. Or Harvey Weinstein. Meryl Streep at the Oscars. Harvey Weinstein, you are a god. What did you say? Oprah Winfrey was a pimp who took young, unsuspecting women to get raped by that man. But anyway, weird tangent. But here's what I'm getting at, folks. I get further in for every time something like this happens. Like, I'm like, oh, this guy's going to testify, and he got arrested. Giving New York Times interviews, talking to, what's his name, Cucky Boy on CNBC, Sorkin. We move on. U.S. eyes giving you, that money ain't being given back, folks. You think I think Maxine Waters got like $300,000 or whatever it is. That money's not going back. Maxine pays her daughter and like 90 other family members out of her kitty. That ain't going back, folks. U.S. eyes giving Ukraine Patriot missile defense systems. Whoa. We're going to take a second with this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a massive escalation in this war. If the plan goes forward, the Patriot would be the most sophisticated system we've provided to Ukraine since the war began. I talked to a buddy the other day. Here's an interesting take. The Soviet military sucks, and now we're seeing it. Guess what the Soviet military is doing right now? They might be sucking a little bit. They're kind of in a draw right now, but what are they doing? First of all, they're depleting all of our weapon systems and NATO's weapon systems. Remember, whether it's China or Russia, it's about what, ladies and gentlemen? Quantity. What are we? Quality. Our quality will defeat their overwhelming numbers. Oh, really? How'd that work in Vietnam? Wave after wave after wave of human attack. Like ants. We lost. The Russians, ladies and gentlemen, you know who's making the Russians into a pretty damn good fighting force at this point? Us. They are learning. I saw a nice little report on now they're coming up with non-commissioned officers. They're making junior officers. They're old. Nothing like a war and getting your ass kicked a little bit to do what? To make you smarter. So escalating this with the Patriot missile battery system is a massive. Exactly. It's a rope-a-dope. I'm going to keep luring you in, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. So, Ukraine's long, and again, guys, Henry Kissinger, Wiz, and the Pope, and Elon Musk. And we've all been called Putin agents, Russian sympathizers, Nazis? Because I want peace? Yes. Okay. So instead of talking peace, we're going to send Patriot missile batteries. Everybody on your taxes, right? Let's ask Jerry this afternoon if we can claim Ukraine as a dependent. So, here's what we're going to get to. This, ladies and gentlemen, is so let's go back to this in your commit criteria. Buy everything in the defense industry. Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. Saw the CEO of Boeing, and they were on CNBC the other day. What just a General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower spinning in his grave. The guy nailed it. One of our only generals to win a war, General Grant, General Eisenhower. Keep an eye on the defense contractors, America. These guys ain't in it for you. What did the Kremlin say to this? Kremlin vows to take out Patriot batteries if we send them to Ukraine. I want you to sit with this, guys. We can end this part of the brief really quick right now. It's going to get worse, and this is really bad. But I say that every brief. And guess what? I have been right every brief. As soon as I saw the Patriot story, I'm like, oh, my God. I wonder what the Kremlin's got. And here's what the Kremlin said. U.S. Patriot missile defense systems would be a legitimate target for Russian strikes against Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, a little birdie also told me that what? We've been training Ukrainian Patriot missile crews. But even if they're 1,000% trained, do you think we're going to have Patriot missile batteries in Ukraine with not like an American dude, at least one nearby? This is Vietnam, folks. Remember last month, the White House finally came out and admitted, yeah, we kind of do. There are U.S. troops in Ukraine. What? The fact that wasn't breaking news, and I'm like, of course I knew there's U.S. troops in Ukraine, and of course Joe Biden lied. If, as the head of NATO hinted, NATO supplies Kyiv fanatics with Patriot complexes along with NATO personnel, they will immediately become legitimate targets of our armed forces. Wow. Whoo. Wow. I love the Kim.com. You need to follow that Instagram. Twitter. Ukraine now gets Patriot missiles that cost $3 million per missile to shoot down a $30,000 drone. The Russians can fire 100 drones for every missile, whether it's Goose, Sledge, me, Ponch. Folks, in the Hornet, I could carry TALD, tactical air-launched decoys. Nice glider with a little transponder on the front that says, I'm a big airplane, even though I'm a small little airplane. You can read about this. First night of the Gulf War, the Iraqis looked at their radar screen like the ones that could work that weren't being jammed were like, oh my God, there's 8 million Americans coming at us. So, there you go, Sledge. Yeah, that's right. Your son. Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful segue, Wiz. Thank you. What did I say? Russia is about numbers. They're not about quality. Our $3 million Patriot ripple fire will stop those, 200 drones that are supplied by Iran. Let's end this part of the brief. It's going to get worse. Maybe, let's go with three-dimensional chess here. President Biden hasn't approved it. Secretary of Defense hasn't approved it yet. Maybe the Washington Post, which is an arm of the DNC, floated this, saying it wasn't approved yet, to make Zelensky, to make us look good to Zelensky. Like, hey, man, we're trying to give you as much as we can. Knowing that Russia was going to go, you put any Patriot systems in that country, we're taking them out. And Biden and Austin can go, oh, well, you know what, man, that's, this would be a severe escalation. Maybe that's what's going on. If I was sitting in a room with a whiteboard, that would be one of my contingency plans. You got to throw all the shit on the board. That is a potential reality. Did they do it? Did they float this? But the answer is no, because they're not that smart. John, you get a gold star. That's where I was going to finish this. Does everybody remember years ago when Iran, not that they're not a big issue right now, we just don't pay attention to them in the media, do we? They're building a nuclear weapon that Israel will destroy. There will be war in the Middle East. Don't know if it's this year, who knows? Does everybody remember when Donald Trump sent a drone into Iranian airspace and it was shot down? And everybody's like, oh, my God, that's an act of war. You shot down a drone. And he's like, oh, yeah, I was getting ready. I had dudes on the aircraft carrier getting ready to take off and respond to that. But, it's a drone. It ain't worth it. This is public knowledge. You can Google it. The drone was an older drone. What was it? It was a fucking sponge. It was an EW, an electronic warfare sponge. It was full of instruments. It went right into the heart of their air defense system and went what? Gimme. Okay, thank you. Send data. And I got blown up. So John brings up a great point, which is where I started the Ukraine debate here. For all you, we're going on 10 months. It'll be 11 months. January, February is a year of warfare. They got the Russians on the run. They're losing. Vladimir Putin. Where's all my, he's losing. He said it last week. He's like, this is a long campaign. This ain't, I'm just getting warmed up. 2023 is going to be an absolute horror for this war. And the winner is going to suck. So anyway, let's move on from that. Morgan Stanley upgrades its 2023 growth outlook for China. Expects a stronger and earlier rebound. Holy crap. I'm glad Morgan Stanley is a Top Gun Options member. You're a little late, Morgan Stanley. Great article about how Morgan Stanley attended one of our briefs and listened to everything I said about China. I'll save you all of that brief. And Bloomberg. Everything we've been saying has just appeared in Bloomberg and whatchamacallit. So I know we're in weekly options. I ain't doing anything today with Jerome speaking. We already have positions on. We're going to debrief some market actions, but you have got to be an FXI. We have a long-term synthetic stock. We got I think a burner trade out a month or so with them opening COVID. Bullish. Again, let's just take a look at the FXI since inception. Look at this thing, folks. There's their financial crisis, right? We were at financial crisis lows. Now, if you don't believe all of this, they're all going to die from COVID, their business sucks, they're in debt, the municipal bond market, their housing crisis, get bearish. Me? Nope. I could not be more bullish on China. Ladies and gentlemen, they released a biological weapon attack on the world. Tens of millions dead, destroyed businesses. Nothing happened to them. President Wiz, hey Xi, here's an invoice for $5 trillion. Trump was kind of getting there, but he was a little off. So get in here. I was beating this drum over here, folks. So I was only dudes at cocktail parties picked the perfect top and bottom, except me at the COVID crash. Picked it to the day, picked it to the day, the top and the bottom. That's me at the cocktail party. But this one, I'm like, hey, get bullish on it. We went a little lower, but now we're back to where I said get bullish on it. Get bullish on it today. Queeb, never heard of Queeb, but take a look at what Rick's saying. KWEB, never heard of it. Doesn't mean it's not good, just means I never heard of it. That's a weird looking climb, and I don't know. I'm sticking with FXI. I know FXI, trade FXI. This is 2025's your low, man. Your financial crisis low. So we are. Does everybody have their FXI on? Oh yeah, this is a joint brief actually, because AR. We're not doing AR tomorrow, so this is kind of an AR talk. Get long-term bullish on China. Investors hold fire ahead of Fed rate decision. Kind of a duh, but yeah. Again, I'm not, over under, hawked of. Let me give you the quick brief on what he's going to say. You ready? Yes. He will be hawkish. I'm not joking. This is my job. And he will be dovish. The recent CPI numbers coming in cooler than expected is showing that things. I could give you Jerome Powell's speech right now. What I can't give you is what the market's going to do. My call sign's Wiz. It's not Nostradamus. He's going to be both. I've learned my lesson with Jerome of late. The lesson with Jerome of late is he says both. And then the market, a living, breathing thing, decides how to interpret it. That's what's funny about these, I got a guy at the Fed type of shit. I love when the SEC or Uncle Sam prosecutes people for insider trading and they lost money. Isn't that funny? I've heard people like, because there are some times where, even if you knew, like, hey, I know what the earnings of Apple are going to be, and you, like, maybe you traded on it, the market could do the exact opposite. It's so funny. That's why these are the days you invest in popcorn. You don't do anything. So we're going to, it's so funny because people were freaking out, like, after the cooler than expected CPI. Yesterday, somebody asked a great question. I think maybe it was in the Hunters or the Lifetime, but I think it was in the middle of this rip your face off rally. Like, hey man, are you taking those treads off? I'm like, no. What? Why? And then as the day went on, folks, we went from me drinking a cup of coffee in the morning, the futures up 800 points, to the Dow being down that day. Look at yesterday's range, man. Look at 4,100. Look at 4,100, ladies and gentlemen. 4,100. You can't. It ain't getting above 4,100 anytime soon. Did a lot of reading yesterday of the bear market rally's over with, blah, blah, blah. We've heard this before, folks. Look at this. Bear market rally destroyed. Bear market. No, this isn't a bear market. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why did we fade yesterday? We faded yesterday because of me. I'm kidding. But no, remember in the brief yesterday, what did I tell you? I'm like, doing this for over 3 decades. I'm like, I can't believe I'm sitting here watching a market celebrate. Didn't I say this? If you were there, you heard me say this. I'm not lying. Why is the market celebrating inflation up at 7.1%? Knee-jerk reaction, algorithmic, buy, inflation cooled. Day goes on, people hear me go, that's insane. Now, the market is not the economy. I told you I could not be more bearish on the economy. All the Christmas parties I'm going to, real estate, people talk, even in Palm Beach on the boat the other day, people are like, oh man, all the realtors on the boat, real tours. Things are cracking, man. Jobs markets, everything's cracking. Used cars, boats, FedEx. So, folks, I'm glad somebody asked yesterday, hey, in the middle of that rally, do you take the treads off? Nope. You do if you think that's going to happen. I never said that's going to happen. I'm like, I don't feel the happy Merry Christmas clause right now. With these moving averages meeting at the aorta here, let's call it the market heart over here. I can't really, these moving averages, folks, usually spend a lot of time apart. You know what? Let me write that down. I want to, or maybe we can ask Bart, but there's a guy in our group that's pretty damn smart. I want to ask, when is the last, and anybody in here know, any of the mini Barts in here that know that when's the last time all three, the 100, the 200, and the 50 all met? Do we go back in time? It's like the Stephen Wright joke. I put instant coffee in the microwave and I almost went back in time. So, right? I spilled spot remover on my dog and now he's gone. So I don't know, man. This is creepy. Usually, when we're spaced out, you get runs and do all that stuff. Oh, awesome, Paul. Good. Yeah. Oh yeah, we had a $1,500 sniper yesterday live. Merry Christmas. And then I'm like, roll over. Yeah. So that thing, that was an interesting day yesterday. That was really interesting. Look at that gap and fade. We filled half that gap and then, whoa, I don't know what the hell happened there. Filled half the gap and then faded, and yeah, it was all over the place. All right, a couple more things. What else did I have? Oh, just Fed stuff. This was a good article. Quants are headed for the best year in decades as the Fed stokes volatility. Investors count on market fluctuations to extend the banner run after a lull. Folks, this is what account is this? This is Sniper account, man. This is 87 grand. Just in this was one of my portfolios where I just took SPX sniper shots. Now, obviously, there's red in here. There were net losing SPX sniper shots, but net $87,000 in just SPX sniper shots. If you got your lifetime membership a couple years ago, 10 grand, you're welcome. I made 9 times your money. Barry, okay, 2018. I'm going to have to look at that. 2018. I'm going to go play with that and see what happened. All right. Obviously, Jerome, everybody and my mother are looking at a half a point. I mean, the druggies out here going, oh, the CPI was less, so it'll be 25 points. Are you insane? Are you insane? I think they get 50, and then we hang. I'm literally going to be in the car at 2:15. I'm going to be on the Sawgrass Turnpike going to the FLA Live Arena listening to this. Susie's going to drive, so I get my iPad at and maybe shoot some snipers. But they're looking at it's 50. I mean, look at this, folks. Look at this. Whoop. I think it's a half, and then, again, people are trying to forecast, March of 2023, he's going to cut rates, or by the summer, we're actually back to cutting rates. I don't know about that. Yeah, I agree, Lawrence. That sounds about right, man. I'd agree wholeheartedly with everything you just said. Okay, so let's just take a. No. The announcement is at 2, right? So here's the way things fire. The announcement is that everything fires at 2, and he starts speaking at 2:30. Okay, everybody, give me a vertical head nod that Everybody understands that. So there's a half an hour of a shit show as you ready? Quants, the computers read the statement and the predictions, and this word changed from shall to should, and that's bullish or bear, so you get a half an hour of insane volatility followed by him talking. So this is always a potential great day for sniper shooting. Exactly. You get to see the reporters ask the questions, and he's usually pretty good. But I mean, whether it was Jackson Hole when he used the word pain and stuff like that, rarely do we get Jerome going off script. He's usually pretty damn good. All right. Anything else we need to cover? Because I need to get ready for the other briefs and a bunch of other stuff. Let me just look at AR. We got our FXI on. I would not do anything right now. I wouldn't do I never got filled on this ExxonMobil. I would not do any we did some Amazon short calls earlier for solo Amazon. I let's just hang in the FXI for now. Let's just hang with everything else. I wouldn't be doing much today. Even long-term bullish stuff, but XOM bullish, FXI were bullish. COP, psychedelics. We're gonna do another psychedelic brief here soon, which is weird because Cody called about 5 minutes ago. I had a missed call from Cody, so we're going to. Okay, Barry, thanks. The FXI trade is, where is it? It might even be in weekly options. So I think it was one of those weekly options when we talked about. Yeah, I'll give you the link in a second here. If you don't have the link for, there it is, right there. Well, this is a burner trade, right? So this is a bullish burner trade out to the middle of January, the regular January expiration. But we did a synthetic stock. Ryan, the CSX would have been a short-term tactical trade on the rail strike. So not anymore, Ryan. I would not look at well, hold on. I would look at CSX as potentially bearish. Here is the November 15th, the synthetic what is FXI at right now? Look at this, 28.50. So you're $1.50 away. This is the synthetic stock position. I just do the 28 strike instead of the 27. So make sure you go watch this and look at the trade. So copy paste this trade, but just roll the strike up a little bit. But Ryan, good question, man. CSX, nope, nothing anymore. If anything, I'd be bearish on CSX. So back here, we talked about it getting bullish, a bull put spread on the rail strike. It was solved. Biden, of course, blue collar Biden, of course, screwed his union buddies in favor of the company. Doesn't shock me at all. But now, I mean, that's just we gotta, implosion, bounce. I think you got implosion written all over it. We have a 2023. We're currently in a recession, but Democrats don't call it one. We will have a deeper recession. Remember, I could not be more bearish on the economy. On the market, I'm kind of neutral now. Neutral to slightly bearish. But for CXX and the transports, I'm bearish. The CFO of FedEx last month said they're parking airplanes. Somebody at Maersk, one of the heavies at the largest shipping company in the world, said, yeah, our ships are starting to get parked. And I just think the economy's bad. Oh, that's cool. What email is good for you? Getting you shares for the REIT. Cody's got a REIT that he's launching. I'll brief you on that. Okay. What about the federal budget? The budget deal? I think the Republican, we're not having a government shutdown. Even Mitch McConnell said that the other day. He's like, that ain't going to happen. So we're in debt. We're getting worse. I haven't even talked about this in a while, but you guys can figure it out. I mean, Elon Musk said this on Twitter. He's like, hey, man, with the Fed, with everything going on right now, you should not be in debt. At risk of stating the obvious, beware of debt in turbulent macroeconomic conditions, especially when the Fed keeps raising interest rates. Ladies and gentlemen, today, when the Fed raises interest rates a half a point, the interest on our debt goes up by like $500 billion. It's insane. Every increase that the Fed makes, we get deeper and deeper into debt. If you got any credit card debt, mortgage, or auto, pay it off now, man. Pay it off now. All the LIBOR and our interest rates going up is completely bad. It's funny, I just pulled a Goose regression line from 2011. The full post-Black Monday incorporation of Dodd-Frank. The mean line takes us to 3,500. No kidding. 2,900. Not out of the realm of possibility. Matt, I think I get the chat log. I just got to figure out how to. Let me see if it's worth it. I mean, let's see what it looks like. I don't know. Awesome, Sledge. All right, guys, that's great news. High noon Eastern, man. Sledge is going to turn on the light switch for the website. Wow, that's pretty ugly. What, Matt? What in here is good? I mean, I'm not averse to do it. I got to figure out how to post it, but NoFallenHeroesFoundation.org. .org. That is awesome. So high noon Eastern. Oh, the links. Yeah, I mean, I usually don't. Yeah, we'll see, man. If it's an ass pain, I think to post a Word. I'll try and figure it out, man. But not high on my priority list. All right, guys, I got to go. Anything else, Goose? Yeah, Goose, maybe you could do a brief or something like that. You and I can talk offline. Goose can talk about dividend and the wheel and a tactic like some of that, man. Ding, you are most likely correct, man. But Goose has got a good point, folks. When it starts raining, go to the dividend stocks, man. Do your wheel, do your covered calls, and batten down the hatches. I'm having a blast. Like I said, 87 grand in sniper only portfolio. We have fun with the snipes. If you're not a sniper guy or gal, you're not in Lifetime or the Hunters, we could, I'll do a better job in AR talking about the wheel stuff, selling cash secured puts or buying shares and selling those upside calls. That's good, clean living right there. And I know Goose does some good work in the background on that stuff. Exactly. The energy sector is, we talked about this the other day, folks. ExxonMobil slapping Joe Biden in the face saying 50 billion, I think was right, in buybacks. What's Exxon's yield? 3.5%, man. That's some good living. You do some ExxonMobil, you do some covered calls, some cash secured puts. If you own the shares, you get a dividend. It's boring and it makes consistent money. The woman who owned the firm in Chicago where I worked had a great saying. We make the most money consistently. We may not make the most money, but we make the most money consistently. That's a hedge fund. A hedge fund ain't up 40 down. It's slow and steady wins the race. So I'll do a better job in AR. Maybe Goose and I can talk offline if he wants to do maybe a wagon wheel presentation or something like that, or over in the Hunters with Tamara and those folks. Hey, quick reminder: if you're in Lifetime, you get access to you're in the Hunters too. If you want to go over every once in a while and see what's going on in there, because there's a great group of Americans and people overseas that are here in the Hunters, and they got a solid group of folks throughout the day trading over there. 59 or so or something like that. So. John, those words made her she's one of the only female billionaires on the planet. I had some, I had some to do with that. Trust me. Okay, guys, I got to go. Like I said, free Christmas presents, 2 of them, 2 books. If you write a 5-star review right here, right now, I get an email that says you did. And I'll hook you up, or a 5-star review on the podcast. I will see you in a couple hours at 1 p.m. Eastern for the Traders Accounting Brief. Let me give you the link one more time in case you don't have it. You got to register to get the replay too. So throw a registration in here, please, because I export the Excel sheet to the thing and all sorts of stuff. All right, guys, I got to go. Grab your popcorn. For later today, we got a busy afternoon. Traders Accounting Brief, and then the Fed. I'll be in the car, but I'm going to have my iPad, and I'm going to listen to all that shit. I might fire some snipers. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. I'll see you guys in a little bit at 1 p.m. Eastern. Fights on.